Hey, well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Outdoor Adventures Mississippi. Let me take care of my little handy GPS here for a second. Alrighty. Just had to mark a waypoint. I'm in a location of the DeSoto National Forest, which I'm not entirely familiar with, so I don't not looking to get myself lost out here in the forest. But today it's let's see, February 1st, and it's about I'd say about 55 degrees outside. The pack I'm carrying with me today, this is the Teton Sports Grand 5500 pack. You've seen this before in previous episodes. If it looked like I came in here with a whole bunch of stuff, well, I did. I weighted this pack down to, this pack weighs about, right now, it's about 45 pounds. And I did that intentionally. There was, I come across some reviews on the internet saying that this pack couldn't, fails, with heavier weights and under heavy workload. So I weighted this thing up about as heavy as I feel comfortable carrying. It was heavy, don't get me wrong about that, but I did not feel any of the weight on the shoulders, Granted, my hike was less than it was less than a mile. I probably did about a quarter of a mile into the tree line here, into the forest. So I definitely wouldn't. No, I wouldn't attempt this on anything. Honestly, more than maybe a half a mile. With this kind of weight. But I wanted to see how well it it held up. I didn't hear anything popping or anything sounding like it was about to give way. Also got some new gear I want to show y'all too that I've got. So the time is it's about 5 after 1, and I imagine maybe a few more hours left of sunlight. So I want to get a good start on collecting some, a decent amount of firewood. Temperature is supposed to get down out here to 38 degrees tonight, so I want to have some, good amount of firewood, to cook my dinner tonight. Have a good fire to keep me warm for a little bit of the evening before I turn in, and it's always nice to have the option to have a fire, in the morning when you wake up, in case I want to have some breakfast. All right, so let's go find us some firewood. Ideally, I want to find some stuff that's already down and on the ground. I don't want to be taking down, trees or anything. And I'm also recording this using the GoPro Hero 8 with the Media Mod and Light Kit. So we're going to see how this does. I'm using the Media Mod's external microphone. We'll see how that does. So if the audio quality, for all intents and purposes, sucks, well, we'll blame it on GoPro. So let's go find us some firewood. I see, lots of good small stuff on the ground already. But I'm trying to find something a little bit more substantial without having to venture, too deep in the thick of it. These are these holes that you gotta really look out for when walking around. You can barely see that. That was easy. All right, I think we got ourselves a fair amount of firewood for now. Yeah. So let's get a few things set up and take a water break. So for sleeping bag, I'm going to use the this is the Klymit down sleeping bag, the KSB 20. Got this off of eBay. This was what they call a factory second. I've never used a down sleeping bag before. I've always used synthetic. I've heard that down is better, provides you more insulation than the synthetic. So I figured give it a shot. So I decided to add a new, let me have a see here, another creature comfort to my pack out. You know, cooking your meal and kneeling on the ground just isn't the most comfortable and ideal position, position to be in. I think that's how I cut my finger the last time. Is I got bad knees, and kneeling on the ground just isn't the best thing for my knees. And I just think that start focusing on my knees, and then lost sight of what I was doing and slashed my finger. So I got me a table. Yeah, I picked this up, fairly cheap off of Amazon. This one's sold by, Go for free. It's made out of lightweight aluminum. Just kind of snaps together to form the base of it, like so. And we just unfold it, and this end here slides into this groove. And there we are. Got ourselves a nice little table. Let's see if we can see it in the picture here. And here we are. Nice little table. Prepare meals on. Alright, so sun's starting to go down and I'm getting hungry. So let's get ourselves a fire going. But first I have something, a little piece of, gear that's to show, to show y'all. These two things here are the Wolf and Grizzly. This here's the Wolf and Grizzly cooking grate and the Wolf and Grizzly portable campfire stove. Yeah, one of my last videos, I was having difficulty with my little, little cooking grate. So, yeah, I've been looking at this contraption for quite some time, just kind of waiting to pull the plug. But this is, it's not a cheap little, piece of gear. So, that being said, this here, we'll start with the fire pit, the Wolf and Grizzly fire pit. It comes in this nylon little carrying case here. And this here's the base. As you can see, I've used this already during my last outing, which did not make it to YouTube. And so the next thing I have here, get some light on it, is my Wolf and Grizzly cooking grate. Again, this comes in its own little independent nylon case. Now we have our base here that just unfolds like so, and that can go directly over your fire pit if you choose to. Now if you don't have a fire pit, it can go just directly over your fire. So then this thing here, which unravels, just goes right into the toggles here, like so. Now you can adjust this grate to whatever height you want. Me, I like it about in between. Then to keep it from sagging, This thing here just snaps on like that. And obviously I've got this thing upside down. Sorry about the light, folks. I was going to use my GoPro light mod. However, the thing isn't working. I don't know if it's because the battery's dead. I mean, I charged the thing I had sitting in a charger, you know, before I came out here. If it's a dead unit, I'd like to thank the people of GoPro for sending me out a piece of junk. Alright, so I had to do a little bit of jerry rigging. Had to take one of my, my hat light and kind of velcroed around the, the GoPro because, this little GoPro light mod doesn't work, even though it says it's got a full charge. So if this turns out to be the quality of this thing turns out to be anything like the quality of their media mod, there's no telling how this little video is going to turn out. So we're going to try a little something new to start our fire. So we've got our grate set up. I've got a little fire bundle here. And so we're going to try to start this fire with a little bit of flint and steel. Now I got this from off of flintandsteel.com, this little setup here. It comes in a leather case. 2 substantial sized pieces of flint. I'm not sure if you can see it in the dark. And a little black case of char cloth. I'll set that there. It's a first, and some jute twine. What you want to do is take this jute twine and then unravel it into little tiny strands. I'm not sure how well you could see because, well, my GoPro light don't work. Thanks again, GoPro. Yeah, that'll be returned. So you want to unravel this so it gets really thin strands, almost like it's like hair. So what you do is you take this piece of char cloth here, you just set it on the edge. Like that. And you take your steel striker and when you strike that, you get a spark. Okay. So let's see if we can catch a spark on this piece of char cloth. Let's flip that around. There we go. See how that's got that little ember there? All right. And there we go. Fire with flint and steel. A little denatured alcohol. Cooking the rice, just 1 to 1. Well, I just had something to stop my heart. Talk about panic alert there. For a moment I thought I lost my car keys. And I'm looking around, walking around in the dark, trying to find them. And then I realized they're in my backpack. Whew. If that ain't something to make your heart stop for a minute. Middle of the wood, you're out in the middle of nowhere, and you lose your vehicle keys. Alright, well, I'm done eating, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some things cleaned up around here. So we are now in the teacup in our tent, and I'm not sure how well I get a good view, but this is just enough room for one person. Now the vestibules, this is a double-sided, double opening, so you know you could put gear on the underneath, you know, underneath both vestibules for storage. Now this is, like I said, a 4-season tent. Now when it's cool out, you gotta make sure that you leave it, leave this partially open, for ventilation. Otherwise, you can get a lot of condensation in here. So it's 9:30. It's 41 degrees. I'm gonna crawl into this Klymit down sleeping bag and see how it does, how it performs. And I'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning. Well, good morning. It's Saturday morning, and it is 36 degrees. And yeah, I must say, that I definitely slept, it kept pretty, pretty warm using that that Klymit down sleeping bag. And I'm usually, at this temperature, I get a slight chill even with my synthetic sleeping bags. Because then this time around, I was also a little bit, I was layered with my poly, I got poly pros on, so that probably might have something to do with it. But right now, I'm gonna get a small fire going. Now, last night I used the my little flint and steel to get the fire going. And I got this from flintandsteel.com. Let's see if we can't try to get another fire going. So it comes in this nice little leather carrying case here. Now with lanyard, if you want to carry it across your chest or something like that. It has some clips here that you could take this lanyard off, which I probably will do. Also has a belt clip on there, so you put it on your belt. Inside we can get 2 things of jute twine, 2 pieces of flint, and these things are pretty substantial size. Your steel striker, and they throw Also a case here, nice little metal case with char cloth. Everything is harder to do when your fingers are, when it's cold and you start losing dexterity in your fingers. There we go. And they give you some substantial amount, good amount of char cloth. And when this is done, when you use all that, you can make your own. So what you want to do is take a piece of this jute twine. And then you want to unravel it into individual, well, not quite individual strands. But you want to keep unraveling this to the point where it's getting nice and fibrous, and it's getting into like these little individual hairs. This is what's going to help take your little ember from that char cloth and go and put it into a flame. Now, the flintandsteel.com, there, if you choose to, if you do order from them, and I pay about, I think it's $75 for every, for this, little setup, which I think, from what I've seen, seen on other websites, they would offer
And the reason I went with them was everything else I've been seeing. Yeah, you know, it'd be a similar setup, but then there's the pieces of flint, be like these little little tiny things. I was looking for some, I came across this outfit. It the flint, the pieces of flint that they gave you were actually a lot more substantial. But if you do order for them, be advised they are out of St. Petersburg, Russia. So it's going to take some time to get from point A to point B through the mail. All right. So we've got our fibers. And we're just going to put that in our little tinder bundle here. Tinder bundle, I'm just using what I have around here. Pine tree needles. And pine tree needles, they do a good job of bursting into flame, and they're all over the place. Okay. So now we'll take our piece of see which one do I want to use. There, I don't want to lose our flint. So we take a piece of flint, a piece of tricloth, we put it here on the edge. And then we take our steel striker, and let's see if we can catch a spark. There we go. I'll show you, see that? And we'll put that in our little nest of jute twine.